Now I'm ready.
Let's get into the damn thing. It's a new day. It's time to go. It's time for a brand new episode.
Were you doing it with this one too?
I like to do slight pauses because then I put in like the intro shit. Oh. And then when it comes back, you know what I say? No More Heroes! Welcome to a brand new episode of No More Heroes. I'm one of your hosts, Andy Malfrey, and with me as always, the Duke of Dookie himself, Pat the Fat George. How you doing, Pat?
I'm track-suited and sunglassed up. I'm ready to talk some conspiracies.
Top to bottom in the Kirkland, ready to bring this podcast a big boom! I thought you were going to help me on that. Now I look like a fool.
Sorry.
Welcome to another episode of No More Heroes.
You should have got me a second Diet Coke.
What?
I said, I guess you should have gotten me a second Diet Coke, too.
No, you need to drink water
and
today.
I thought I asked for zebra cakes.
Yeah, well, I forgot to do that.
I did say too much zebra cakes.
And then also, your first measures was a little bit a lot.
When you think you have enough zebra cakes, triple it.
How many zebra cakes you got?
Triple
it.
Now, double that.
And then triple it.
And then leave it at the doorstep.
-1 times 5.
Love some zebra cakes. But we're not here to talk about zebras. We're here to talk about aliens.
Aliens. And we're doing a twofer today, right?
Huh?
No?
Huh?
Because I did watch the other thing you told me about last week.
What was the other thing?
The UFO fleet over Russia.
Oh, yeah. That's the thing I thought.
Okay.
What was the other thing?
You didn't remember the other thing?
I thought that was the thing.
We were also going to talk about cattle mutilation.
Oh.
Yeah.
I thought that was for Drink the Lake.
You thought we were talking about the grindcore band?
Yes. No.
Well, we don't have to stay long on it, but I did waste a lot of time learning about cattle mutilation, so I do have some thoughts.
You got that because I think if I don't know if you want to spoil it this early in the video, but not a lot of meat on the Russian spaceship bone.
No,
in my experience.
And I'm very excited.
And
to talk
not a lot of people talking about it.
And I'm very excited to talk about that too because I watched it today on stream, Big Rig in the morning, twitch.tv/Andy Malfrina, also on Rumble. I watched that today on stream, and I had a lot of thoughts about that. So where do you want to...
That cattle mutilation thing got right past me. I tell you what. I was just like, yeah, I'll listen to that. But then I ended up listening to Pig Destroyer instead. I think I got mixed up.
And now I'm listening to Number 12 Looks Like You, wondering why does Andy want to talk about Twilight Zone?
I'm like, what are we doing here?
Is it a TV review show, you dumbass?
Sorry, bud.
No, it's okay.
All right,
you know what? There's one guy out there who likes aliens and grindcore, and that whole segment was hilarious.
Our demo.
The one alien grindcore fan. But no, I was watching. There's that new... forget what the fuck it's called. It's with that gentleman, George Knapp, who's very interesting. He's been on Rogan a bunch of times, but he's got a new show on Netflix, and I was watching it last week, and they basically, at the very end of the episode, they introduced me to the concept of cattle mutilation.
Okay.
And I have never once... I've heard of it here and there, but I realized, you know when you like hear about shit, but you never get it like specifically explained to you, and you go, wait, that's what they're doing to them?
Yeah, you're like, wait, why?
Wait, what? Why is that going on? What did the cows do to you?
And actually, honestly, I think what we're ending up talking about here is going to end up being very similar to each other, I feel like.
Okay.
I think there's going to be a lot of... Because the very little information I really could find on the video was because, like you said, you watched it earlier today. It's a video. It was captured by a NASA satellite or NASA, I believe, a NASA spaceship, like like one. It's one of those. It was a NASA. It was captured by NASA, and you can actually hear somebody if you actually watch the video, like you did.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was...
No, I didn't have any sound. I went to the Reddit link, and I didn't have any sound.
Yeah,
or maybe I just thought there was no sound.
There's audio of a guy just very calmly talking. Like just
So
I'm like, okay, that makes me feel like this is either a routine thing that looks... So it could be one of two things.
Well, wait. Do you want to get into that now, or... I thought we were doing cattle mutilation.
Well, I was just gonna say that as far as
are you gonna explain the tie-in?
Yeah.
Like
the tie-in is essentially like the fact of that being but like I couldn't find a lot on it about the video, but the video of this being like like the video audio or the audio that was going with the video is just a guy very calmly talking and just kind of explaining shit like blah 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 and not even like mentioning what's happening like at all.
Yeah.
So it either makes me feel like there could be no like this is a routine thing that's not extraterrestrial, or it's a routine thing that is extraterrestrial.
And we'll get into that because I had a very similar thing where I go,
yeah.
this is either incredibly mundane or fucking insane.
Right. So like that. So and I think there's going to be a thing with the cattle.
Okay, that's I was having trouble seeing the tie-in, but now it makes sense where it's like that's the thing with cattle mutilation too, where you're like,
because if you're looking at that video again, you're like the Russian video. It's on a couple places on Twitter and like whatever you can see. It looks like a fleet of aliens all over Russia, all leaving at the same time.
Well, I try to do a thing. It's funny with the cattle mutilation stuff and a lot of these topics we've been doing. I've been trying to do a thing where I don't, because I've realized most of these. I think I went into some of these topics a little naive, thinking like, oh, I'll just do a lot of research and I'll get to the bottom of like a definitive explanation. And the vast majority of these, you just get to a point where like it's most likely this.
Yeah.
And the cattle mutilation stuff to me was kind of weird because the conclusion I got to, I sound like I'm definitely a cow that needs to be mutilated.
That on any of those other UFO shows,
dude. By the way, that was definitely something you've gotten into me that I am real bad on. I do on my burp so much now. I've let you ruin my broadcasting skills.
Yes, hell yeah.
No, but the cattle mutilation where it's like I've been trying because so basically the short version of the cattle mutilation shit is. And this has been, on Wikipedia, they said there's been shit like this happening since the 1600s. But in America, they've been monitoring it essentially since about like the late 60s, early 70s. And I did the math. It factored out to about a cow every 2.5 days or so.
Yeah.
There's been like that. So it's like, it's a regular occurrence. And I was doing the math too. Like there was a History Channel show that just came out like a year ago where they're talking about some shit that just recently happened. So that could have gotten filmed as late as 2020, 2021. Like it could be. So it's like this is a thing that's started being noticed in the 70s and has been happening pretty regularly. And basically the short version, a farmer moseys on out and he goes, hey, where's that cow's face? Hey, hold up.
Like the head or the face?
Yeah, good point. Like the snout and a side of the face will be missing, so you see the bone,
Like
and
dissected,
then like on the eye part, usually on I can't remember if it's both sides, but on one side the eye part will be missing, and then he'll kind of mosey around to the back and go, "What the hell? Where's my cow's asshole?
Yeah.
Where's my cow's genitals?" And they'll be like,
"This cow ain't got no anus."
Pretty much.
What the hell happened to his anus?
And then he looks down in the middle and he goes, "And you took the blood too?"
Yeah. So do you remember I was
basically the cow gets fully sucked.
Do you remember my theory of every like aliens and like cryptids and all these other things all being connected?
Yeah.
They're all the same thing. They're all aliens.
Oh, okay.
Like ghosts. Cryptids.
Yeah.
They're all aliens. Because this is very reminiscent of the story of the goat sucker, the chupacabra.
Wait, the what?
The goat sucker.
Sucker?
Yeah, it literally that this was happening.
Tiana Trump's the goat sucker. She is the sucker. She's the goat of suckers.
Hey, you know what?
I peep game, dude.
The original, the OG goat sucker, was in Puerto Rico, and it was not in Mexico. Did not originate in Mexico.
Oh, really?
In Puerto Rico, I think in the '60s actually. So like 60s or 70s.
The original chupacabra.
Yeah, chupacabra. Basically a farmer found a bunch of his goats like
sucked off,
drained of their blood.
Just a bunch of goats like, oh yeah, dude.
Oh, I'm like this.
Hey, all me goats are smoking cigarettes. So, they must have gotten sucked off.
But the chupacabra, that's what chupacabra stands for, is goat sucker.
Goat sucker?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, that's literally what it translates to. But so their goats were mutilated and also drained of all their blood. and this happened to livestock in the area for a while, and then it just kind of stopped.
Yeah.
I'm thinking that this ties into my this cattle mutilation is being attributed to extraterrestrials.
So I'm glad you asked that, because there's a couple options people.
Yeah, sounds similar.
I've seen basically 4 main options that people have thrown out.
Yeah.
The aliens, where the aliens swoop by. What?
The aliens?
The aliens. Yeah. In Chicago. The aliens. That's how we talk about it at the bar. You guys see the aliens?
You see the aliens?
So it'll be like aliens. The aliens one's very funny to me too, because a big part about the cattle mutilation is every time they come across the cows, there's no like footprints, there's no marks that anything happened. So if it's aliens, they literally just pick the cow up, cut his face, suck out the blood, fuck his ass, and then they just throw him back.
Got what we need. Bye-bye.
So that's a slightly more believable one. The ones that are a little ridiculous to me is a lot of people try to say it's just animals. And I go, I mean, there'd be a sign of a struggle. There'd be like a sign of a fight. Like all these.
If it's another, it's not the perfect. It's not like a Mothman or something. You know, again, it's like a thing where it's like it's not gonna fly in, grab it, and just fucking. You know what I mean? Like, and then, like you said, do it right there. And then again, no blood on the ground.
Or you just get like 10 really strong coyotes.
Because that's the other thing is
they all hold a cow on their back.
Also, and they're licking up all the dirt that had the blood on it and shit like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like there's no blood surrounding.
The blood's a big part for me, because that's where it also makes the other theory. A lot of people think it's Satanists doing a ritual, and I just got to be honest, like. I don't, because also too, how many of those Satanists is their main thing like dealing with animal killing?
And how many
they're learning, they're backseat drivers on that shit.
Yeah, they're not like, I don't think they live in these towns that they're happy.
Yeah, and it's just like, dude, there's no, like, the weird part is there's no sign of a struggle, like,
small
ever
town
for these
Satanists.
things. Yeah.
Like, we're just humble Satanists coming out here to mutilate a cow.
I saw a lot of people saying the animals or the Satanists, we're just a little small town Satanists.
Just
trying to give a cow a full
nobody
suck.
Except for them cows over there.
Those ones are ridiculous. I've basically come down to 2 options. One, like I said, the alien picks him up, gives the cow a full suck, and just throws him back.
He basically does a fatality.
Yeah, basically does a fatality. Finish him! And 2, I think the other option, and you know how whenever all this alien shit, if it's not aliens, I default to just like they got special DARPA technology. I think a DARPA guy comes in with like floating boots, or he comes down from the ship. Damn. Well, because how are there going to be marks? And there's just a cow minding his...
No burn marks or anything?
But the cow's minding his own business, and he's got his mutilation suck gun, and he sneaks up right behind the cow.
Oh, it's like No Country for Old Men, but in reverse?
Yeah, but in the butt. So the DARPA guy just sneaks up and he just gets the cow in the ass and just sucks the cow out. And those are my only 2 options. It's very those are the only 2 possible options is aliens or DARPA agents giving the cow an ass suck.
Those are the only 2 reasonable explanations.
Well, no, they do. So they suck the cow. They hit him with like a little lightsaber on the front, because there was things saying like where the way that the hair would curl up was indicative of like burn marks and shit like that. So I'm like, I think they got a little like pen lightsaber that they just cut a little bit off. This is my prize. Yeah.
That's their little brand.
Well, and here's my thing. I want to know why it like
we brand the front.
Well, because it's one thing for like if it's the DARPA thing or whatever the fuck, like it's special technology we don't know about. My thing is like it's one thing for them to like test it, because we talked about this in past episodes where it's like I think they just do shit and they don't give a fuck if we see it or not sometimes, because they're like, we're gonna lie, we're gonna make you feel crazy. It's like with the Phoenix Lights, they're just gonna do it and call you crazy and then ruin your reputation.
Yeah, and then when you follow up, they're like, yeah, but we really don't have any actual explanation.
Exactly. But
we actually reached out too. We didn't get nothing.
But the thing with the Phoenix Lights is that happened one time.
Yeah.
There's been steady cattle mutilation since the 70s. That's the part where I get tripped up. I go, why does it keep happening? What do they need from the cows? Yeah. What does the cow blood, the cow butthole, and little parts of the cow face do for the aliens or DARPA or whatever the fuck?
This is, if I may.
You may.
I have I think the theory of aliens is not as crazy as we thought, because this would also legitimize my theory of abductions being just wild ass aliens that we can't control, we can't police.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, this is them going out and like them. Like, maybe it's a delicacy. Maybe cow asshole to aliens is like a delicacy.
Yeah. Well, I literally.
Like, the blood is like fucking perfect, especially when you drink it from the anus.
Brother, it's
oh
so
my
funny
God.
you said.
Have you had it that way?
It's so funny you said that, because when I was watching a bunch of this stuff on stream, and I was editing up a clip where I was making that same joke.
Yeah.
I was like, are they just making cow face soup where the fucking blood's their
Dude,
broth?
I swear to God, like
It's the only. It's like, you sound crazy saying that, but after you look into the shit, you're like, why do they keep needing the blood?
because honestly, they're like, yeah. Have you seen how you guys eat them? Like, you line them up and then you shoot them in the head.
You
and then
suck their titties,
and then you bleed their fucking. You get all the blood out.
Yeah.
Then you cut them up into sections and you fucking put them on like. They're like, we're just drinking the fucking blood and being assholes.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what's going on with you guys. Like,
Yeah.
No face. Like, whatever. We've seen what you guys do.
Yeah.
So it's not. They're probably not even thinking it's any kind of phenomena or anything like that. They're just like, yeah, we just don't know where else to. That's the only thing is, like, you would think they'd be more efficient with the bodies, but they're also like, fuck you guys.
It's like when you fly to Italy to get like authentic pasta without all the bullshit in it.
Yeah.
You're like, yeah, we can't get this here.
Yeah.
We can't get cows on fucking planet.
Whatever, Bleep Blurb.
Yeah, but well, that's the guy who flew.
He's named after his planet, his hometown.
Yeah, fair enough.
But it's like, it's like my daughter, Georgia. No. There's a thing where, like, I feel like this being connected is not that crazy, because this is like the abduction. Like, if let's say first contact was made in Roswell, 1947, and they're actually working, and the government is now either reverse engineering or working with an alien race.
Yeah.
Could also have been first contact. Could have been the moon. Could have been possibly when they found out the moon was hollow, or possibly a spaceship. Maybe that was first contact. There could have been not first contact, but maybe that's when an agreement was made to work with. But if abductions have been reported this whole time, or at least alien activity has been reported like most of this time, this cattle mutilation thing, I feel like kind of goes along with the same thing of there's some kind of agreement. You know what I mean? Like, with
you're allowed to get a few cows.
Yeah, or like also like, yeah, if you want to do some research on humans, or like or something like that, like non-willing human, like they're just going out and just doing whatever they kind of do anyway.
You know what was bugging?
Like how governments do it, like black ops. Like, this could just be them just doing shit, and they're like, the government's like, well, yeah, what are we gonna do?
Keep it under the radar. It was like how the government did like Iran Contra back in the day, where they were like, we can't directly fund the Sandinistas, and we can't directly fund sending these arms to Iran, but we're gonna like run these. We're gonna like run drugs so we can make money on the side.
Like, I don't know if this stuff will ever actually get declassified. But I'm sure there's many documented cases of them being like, of human experiments happening, or stuff like that. Like, I'm sure there's plenty, like, they are familiar with it, because so the cattle did you have anything else with the
so that's pretty much it's very funny you came to the soup conclusion, because I was like, that was like the thing that was really bugging me is I was like, why does it keep happening? I was like, there has to be something about the cow, because here's the thing, if the cows were super valuable, if it's aliens, like, that's why I'm almost like, at first I was like anti-aliens, and now that we're talking through it, I'm almost like anti the DARPA thing, because it's like there would have been a flare-up back in the day, and then it would have stopped. Like, I'm almost more leaning towards aliens, like it's a delicacy of aliens, because I'm like, I don't think it's like a resource, because if it was a resource, it would happen all the fucking time. It would happen constantly, like way more than it does. So I'm almost just like, do they just get to like party every once in a while, and they're like me and Bleep Blurp are gonna go down to the old swimming hole and suck a cow.
Like, literally, you want to go split a cow?
My last thing that you want to go split a cow is so funny. My last thing though, and this is just like a thing that I have, and this could be me not not understanding the layout of a farm. But why if this, because I was watching some videos and there was people who were like, they've taken a couple of my cows, I've lost 50 grand to this, I've lost 100 grand to cattle mutilation, and I'd just be like, you never bought like a camera? Never bought a security camera?
Trail cams or something.
You know what I mean? And I'm like, maybe I don't know. Maybe I don't know the fucking layout of a farm. They're all grazing over these big areas and shit like that. Maybe it's hard to really rig up the cameras, but it almost reminds me of the same thing with the fucking Austin Strangler or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
Where they're like, we just keep getting gay guys in this one lake. And I go, and then you put up a camera by that lake. And they're like, huh?
Yeah. What? By where?
What? Why would we put cameras up? It's 2024. You're like, I don't know. I think it sounds like you want to solve the crime, so why don't you do that?
Yeah, I think I think it just keeps happening just because there's nothing we can do about it. Like it must be something along that thing, because there's no other reasonable explanation, right? Like there's no. It
sounds crazy, but based off what I've looked into and read and watched videos on, it literally feels like Bleep Blorp and the gang are going to split a cow.
Yeah, I'm literally. I think because there's so the reason I thought this tied in so well with what I actually. So like I said, when I tried to start doing research on.
We're talking about the fleet thing.
Yeah, well,
so I was just going to say, let me, as a timestamp right now, we'll edit in the footage for you.
Okay, yeah.
So 21, I'll just remember like 21, 22 minutes in. We'll edit in the footage for you so you get a good look of what the hell this is.
Well, it was originally posted, I think, on Reddit by OK_Peace4040. And it's a video captured by NASA. In the video, you can hear someone talking and reacting, like just you're not hearing. They're not reacting at all to this. Like they're not saying this is crazy. Like I'm getting some weird readings. Like nothing. Even like when like I've heard like astronauts reacting to things malfunctioning. They're almost always like you hear like every imitation of a pilot of just like that. Something's happening.
What the hell is this? I'm freaking the fuck out. This is horrifying me. I've never seen such horrors of this on the world.
Crazy readings on the oxygen level. Says it's negative 400. You know, like they're absolutely not freaking out. Up
we're
until,
all
like,
about
they're dead.
We're all about to die. Tell my mother I love her.
But
yeah, no, that's a fair point.
So that video is what like I was originally going to start doing research on. But in the meantime, since that, there was actually a huge. I don't know if you saw any of the shit that was happening on. It was the All Domain Anomaly Resolution, or ARROW.
Okay.
Its office. They released a statement to the Secretary of Defense, I believe. They had a whole commission on a congressional hearing.
We watched that on stream, the congressional hearing.
Okay, so yeah.
Shout out Nancy Mace, top congressional babe.
Yeah, so this is why I think this is tying into the same idea of like kind of what we've been talking about, and this is retribution for your boy. This is almost exactly what I predicted, what I thought. So there was a person. What's his name? Luis Elizondo. So, like, Congress held a hearing with testimonies from former military personnel and officials discussing UAP encounters over the years.
Do you mind if I ask you real quick before you get too deep into that? What's your read on that Elizondo guy? He's the guy who used to work for he works for the Pentagon or some shit.
Yeah. So there's a bunch of people. Like, it's a weird thing where like
we've been we've been joking that he's like still tied into the feds and like, you know, is basically there to get people off the track. Like we've been joking about that on stream and stuff, but I also at the same time don't 100%. I can't tell if I can like trust this guy or not.
It could be something. I at this point, like people, I hear great case. It really frustrates me because it's like the same thing with like a lot of politicians or any other people. Like I feel like if he's out there just like exposing secrets, I don't see why he wouldn't end up dead. Like they don't ever hide that they can.
Yeah, why he doesn't end up killing himself with 2 bullets to the back of his head.
Yeah, exactly. So it almost feels like at this point he's getting to the point where there's people that are super credible, and then people are like, that's just a person that's there to spread misinformation.
Yeah.
You're like, okay, maybe. Yeah, I don't like at this point.
What's your
I don't
read
know.
on him though?
But on him, just hearing him talk, like he gives a lot of the same answers.
Gives a lot of, I can't talk about
I can't
that.
say that because of this or whatever. So it almost feels like he is a legitimate spin guy.
Yeah, it feels like he's a guy.
He's a guy that's about to because so this is why I think it's the tie-in.
Yeah,
is he was exposing. So Elizondo also could not confirm, but implied that technologies that were being viewed, like UAPs, UFOs, also I think USOs, unidentified submerged objects, are a big thing that I've seen a lot of videos on recently. USOs are they are not technologies. He implied that the technologies were possibly reverse engineered by retrieving wrecked crafts. So they're not made by any from our government or any other governments monitoring sensitive military installations around the globe. So like they're basically UAPs that are just advanced technologies that were not made by our government or other governments that were monitoring sensitive military installations around the globe.
Oh, okay.
So there's apparently a lot of footage and stuff like that that are they're not of this world. Like how he was trying to say it was, I can't find it in the note here, but it's
It's like the Broadway he was talking about.
It's basically saying, so the theory that I had where it kind of started with Roswell.
Yeah.
Like the wrecked craft.
Yeah.
Being reverse engineered and kind of moving forward.
Yeah.
And working with, so like his like assumption, what he was saying in the fucking congressional hearing.
Yeah.
Was the exact same thing I was saying of he believes that either our government or other governments may be. There actually was an agency I remember in his hearing was there was an agency from the U.S. that was specifically to recover wrecked crafts and reverse engineer technologies. Mm-hmm. So like legitimately, that is actually happening for real. But it also could be working with aliens or unidentified, other entities or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's like the same thing I was saying of like we found the wreckage and we're like, hey, all right, I guess this is real. So like I think we've been working with them this whole time, and either not work or aware of them.
Yeah.
So
maybe not working directly with them, but we've recovered their crafts.
Right. So the other things that were exposed were the report stated that in 2024 alone, there are over 750 UAP sightings, with at least 3 separate instances of pilots being trailed or shadowed by the UAP, with no confirmation of them being foreign adversaries.
Gotcha.
So, like, there was no...
Like, we contacted everyone else to be like, yo, were you fucking with us?
Yeah, that's a Korean. That's a north, south, anything. Like, it's not anything of this world. So, most sightings occurred near military installations or nuclear sites.
Yeah.
And 118 cases were identified as everyday objects like balloons or birds.
Yeah.
So, like, still 600 cases.
I gotta be honest. The deeper we get into this, I'm like... I always rolled my eyes at weather balloons. There's apparently way more balloons out there than you fucking realize.
Yeah. Yeah, and they're like that's why I'm thinking like it could be like you said like our government or other governments that are working with the aliens.
Can I say about the Lou Elizondo guy? He intrigues me because you just kind of start noticing like what the things he says, what direction does it push shit in? And a lot of stuff he says seems to push shit in the direction of I need you to be scared and the only person to fix this is the government.
Yeah.
So he, like you were saying, he seems like he's in there to be what's the term, a spin doctor or whatever the fuck. He seems like a dude who's in there to sort of spin it in a way where you're scared and dependent on the government.
So in the apparently the evidence that he is requesting to become declassified, there's tons of pictures and videos, high definition, and it was even specified in the hearing, not like the grainy military foot. You know how everybody said, like, how do you not have like better, like high resolution?
I think I remember this part. Yeah,
high detail, like
of biologics.
Yeah, so like he's saying most were spherical or orb-like shape, but they were not able to find any signs of extraterrestrial technology.
Okay,
but also were not able to identify these objects.
Yeah. Okay.
So like there were like
they're not alien, but we don't know what the fuck they are.
Right. Exactly. So like, but he knows he also stated that there was in fact a arm of the government that was dedicated to recovering wrecked craft and reverse engineering.
I remember that part. Yeah.
So they held
that
the hearing.
Was not. Can I say this? That was not a hearing to watch live.
No,
because there was.
You need the bullet points.
What?
You need the bullet points.
Oh, dude, because I saw all these. We watched it on fucking stream.
Yeah.
And I saw all these people with like these fucking 10-minute compilations that were like all this crazy shit, and I go, that 10 minutes was literally the only interesting 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Everything else was. I can't talk about that unless we're in a skiff, or it was like dodging the question, or it was some shit that like we already all kind of knew.
Yeah. So in the congressional hearing, they had testimonies of former military personnel and officers, officials discussing UAP encounters over the years. Luis Elizondo was one of them.
Yeah.
He states that UAPs are real, which I do agree with. And a lot of people, like, when somebody says that, like, it's like saying UFOs are real. They are real because there are such things as unidentified flying objects.
It's not as, like, oh, holy shit as people think, because you go, no, yeah, like, if I see Pat in the distance...
Yeah.
And I don't
in a balloon.
If I see Pat in a hot air balloon, but no, legitimately, like if you see a fucking plane off in the distance, but you can't fully tell it's a plane, it's technically a UFO. It's an unidentified flying object. Right. You're not able to identify what it is. So calling something a UAP or calling something a UFO isn't as scandalous on its face as you think it is.
Right. And the advanced technologies that are not made from our government or other governments are monitoring sensitive military installations around the globe. That's what I was trying to say earlier. Like that's no matter like if it's interstellar, intergalactic, whatever it may be, something continues to hover around
and
our military.
Us.
They're shadowing our fucking planes.
It goes back to what you were saying on the Roswell episode, where it goes back to like, we were letting you guys chill. And then you made those bombs. Yeah. And now we got to watch you.
And now you're doing this a lot. And everybody's puffing their chest out.
Yeah.
And like what?
And now we got to watch you to make sure you don't do that again.
Right. Exactly. And that's what I'm saying. So like,
dude, literally,
we're like a resource planet for them. I really do feel like,
bro, it's literally Bleep Lort going like, if you guys fucking do that shit again, I'm gonna be in so much trouble with my boss.
Yeah, no more. Okay,
you guys can't do that.
I was fucking did the cloaking device in '97. Like they were fucking pissed.
Oh my god,
they were about to nuke the whole project.
Oh god, I take 2 hours for lunch one time, and you fucking nuke Japan. You fucking assholes.
So this is apparently a report. So. This is the interesting part. This is like it like so this ties into a couple of theories that we've talked about on the show.
By the way, I do want to get back to the UFO fleet because I have some thoughts about it.
Okay, yeah, we're not. Yeah, this is. I think
we're getting back there.
Could be tying in with it.
Copy
like,
that.
What I'm saying like.
I trusted you the whole time.
This is apparently it's a report including a giant white orb hovering over the coast of Kuwait. It's still classified. But it contains high-resolution photos, videos of the event, right? So I feel like he could. So Elizondo could not confirm, but implied that technologies were possibly reverse engineered by retrieving wrecked crafts. That was another thing that he said that like,
Yeah.
I can't say this.
Can't
because
talk about that.
I signed an official thing saying a document. I've got the documents that say I can't talk.
Yeah.
He turned into Jesse Ventura.
Yeah, I got a big expose that the Pentagon had to check for 2 years before they let me publish it.
This is what I'm saying. So like this is a
People don't realize that, by the way. There's a lot of these dudes who present themselves as whistleblowers and they have their books, but they don't want to lose their clearance.
Yeah.
So they have to get their books and shit like that checked by the Pentagon.
Right.
That like now I will say this, I've heard.
So wouldn't that add to the wouldn't that add a little legitimacy to it to say like they're trying to reveal the truth and they're like, no, you can't reveal that or that. You can't say that. You can't. We can't really say that we knew about that.
Yeah.
Can't say we knew about that. You know, like.
Yeah.
Maybe it does
potential. Yeah.
And now they've been kind of utilized. Of like, all right, you guys want to be whistleblowers? We'll let you blow the whistle, but slow and steady.
Just a little.
Whoop, whoop. Every once in a while. Whoop, whoop.
Not like a loud.
If we show them the giant white orb hovering off the coast of Kuwait, you know, you mean like
they can't do this one. You can't do this one.
Yeah.
You gotta do a little.
You can't do the one that's like gonna call the people in for dinner.
Yeah. You can't rustle them up for dinner.
Can't. But it's
you're in the ballpark of thinking about like the slow drip theory.
Yeah, and I feel like this is. So the reason I feel like there's no reaction in like something like the video, like the Moscow video or the Russian video, is the fact that like they're like, oh no, yeah, we forgot, yeah, they were scheduled for their
flight home,
yeah, for their departures that week or whatever.
Can I ask you this?
Like there's nothing like to me like it just seems very run of the mill. Like they're like, oh yeah, look, like they're not even.
Wait, can I ask you this question? How does that video get to us?
That's what I'm saying.
Where did that video come from?
Because it's another grainy one, right? It's a little bit more resolution, a little bit
Dude, it looked
clearer.
old school. I was like, wait, this came out last week?
And that's what I'm saying. Is like so like before they start, like they're like, we got these high resolution ones, and like if nobody goes, like if there's not a bunch of buzz on Twitter and a bunch of buzz on social media that's going like, if I see these high resolution things, I'm gonna fucking lose it.
Yeah.
Like because they're either testing it, they're showing like, what if it did look like there was a fleet of aliens? Because look, dude, the one thing I also didn't find was a reasonable explanation for it.
Can I say this?
There was like there's obviously the comment threads, whatever, but like at no point is somebody saying like, obviously this is a thing known as like Neil deGrasse Tyson isn't fucking going.
Yeah.
Like, I really if I want to hear Neil deGrasse Tyson explain that away. And then I want to start seeing the high resolution shit because he's a big guy that's like the bring him into the town square kind of shit.
Yeah.
And it's like, I understand what you're talking about, but I feel like I think anybody that knows about the situation knows not to talk about this is the super duper government alien fight club. You do not talk about it whatsoever.
Well, wait, can I say this? First off, I watched a video on Reddit, and the first comment on Reddit was trying to be like fake deep by leaving a comment from the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, and I go, this is why I hate Reddit.
Yeah.
I always like people who get deep in the comments on anything. I go, the Reddit comments are full of miladies that think Marvel's the top of cinema. YouTube's full of schizophrenic people. Twitter's full of Russian bots. Like,
hey, we're on YouTube.
I'm saying the people on YouTube are smart and should never be questioned. But the people in the comments are schizophrenic sometimes, unless they're complimenting my Drag the Lake videos. Those people are very smart. I just remembered that.
All of them are really smart.
They are very smart people. A lot of people too, like, are schizophrenic though. But no, so the comments made me want to gouge my eyes out. But no, I watched the video on Reddit and it like didn't. Whatever was happening, it was this weird thing where I go like, I'm watching this and it didn't strike me as a group of like ships flying away. It looked like a bunch of stuff getting broken off of something.
Yeah.
Like a bunch of, because if you get to the end of the video, there's pieces that I can't tell because of the low quality, but it feels like they're closer to the camera. They look like splotchy, like almost like you're looking at stuff under a microscope.
Yeah.
So it makes me more inclined to think this shit is like particles.
Also,
That makes me more inclined to think it's particles that broke off of something. But then I get to that and I go, but what did they break off of? So I have like, it's weird. It's like, I'm like, it looks like particles drifting away, but I don't fully have a reference point for what's even happening. Because I'm commenting on the movement of the pieces.
Yeah, after further review, if you're watching it, there's like some smaller, there's some bigger, there's like some plumes, some... But they don't necessarily... It's not like something's jettisoning
It's
out
not, because if they were flying away, there would be more purpose to the movement.
But then...
The movement looks like something's just drifting through space.
But then that's another thing. Then you're like, what's happening?
And then that's the next step where I go,
what actually is it?
I'm literally only commenting on the movement. Yeah. Everything else, what the actual fuck is this even?
Right. So either it could be part of the alien mining project because we're the resource planet for those.
They're breaking off our souls that have got. Because what's that theory? They're mining us for souls or something.
I thought it was the gold in the mountains and everything like that. They needed it for their atmosphere.
Oh, I've heard that one.
I think the souls one is.
I've heard something about
Scientology. Isn't that Thetans?
Thetans?
Yeah, they feed on our Thetans or something like that.
Okay, I swear I heard some like alien theory that have to do with like the aliens are harvesting souls.
No,
I don't know though.
That's crazy. They're just eating cow assholes and drinking the blood.
Yeah, Andy,
okay,
they're just
stupid.
They're not harvesting souls. They're harvesting cow soup.
What a fucking idiot.
Yeah, I'm a real
sounds like we're a whack. You give guys like me a fucking bad name.
Pat, you know what I am?
Shit like that.
You know what I am?
A dumbass.
A fucking dumbass.
Fucking dumbass.
But no, that is the thing where I just go. It's always funny where you go like.
Did you need a used breath strip?
I have plenty back in my car. I have AIDS. No, that's like the funny part about the alien shit. It's like you fall into this thing like back to the cattle mutilation. You go, obviously it's not other animals, you fucking idiot.
Yeah.
And then you take one more step and you go, why do they keep draining the blood? What the fuck's happening? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like you have.
I don't have the answers, but I know that's not the answer.
That's how it's been for all of this. Where I go, it's obviously not that, you stupid piece of shit.
Yeah.
But what the fuck is it? Is God real?
No, dude. I'm telling you, everything that we're bringing up in this, because like again, that is most likely not an alien fleet leaving Russia. Most likely from if you're watching it, I don't think so. Could be whatever. But with this congressional hearing, I feel like the drip feed / Project Bluebeam shit, like they could. I'm not saying Bluebeam is completely out of it. Like there could actually be aliens, and they could just be using. They could use their technology to fuck with us. Like you know what I'm saying? Like
I've thought about this too with like government conspiracies and stuff, because there's a lot of people in like when you're talking about Project Bluebeam, they could be doing shit where they could be like, there's a lot of these people who are really good problem solvers, and you know what? Let's get them thinking all this alien shit is super duper real, so they're wasting their time on this fake bullshit.
Let's make it like boring.
Yeah, and then so it's they're like, look over here, so you're not figuring out what we're actually doing.
Right.
Like it could be something like that, because you got to a lot of these, there's definitely people in a lot of this conspiracy shit that just have like boring lives and they need to feel a sense of purpose.
There's different layers to the manipulation.
But sorry. I put both of us in that. But there are also a lot of people who are just like, they've got that special brand of autism that makes them really good problem solvers.
There could be levels to it too. Like I said, like the drip part of it, of like being like, let's show them the grainy footage. Okay, we show them the grainy footage. Now let's show them the high def footage. And then eventually they'll be able to, they can use that to manipulate us, while also still being able to have the final reveal of being like, well, what if we have one of these alien ships attack one of the towns, or threaten one of the towns, or something like that. Like we could show you incidents where they didn't, where they weren't, but then let's see we'll test the waters. What happens if the aliens do it? Like it's essentially it's kind of like how every time you use the "I am not the robot" thing, and you gotta identify all the road signs or whatever. It's like it's a thing where like you're teaching AI like how to like think and see and shit like that.
Yeah.
Like how to identify shit. So like.
Also, apparently, how those work too is if you're just a human being, it's not going to move in a steady way, and that's more so how they tell you're a human being. Because like computers are going to be very direct. That's what I heard a guy say. And
I'm gonna try to be very direct next time I do that.
Try. I think you can. I believe in you.
Thank you. I could be as good as a machine, but I think there's.
I don't fucking believe in him for a second.
Guys, what did you just say?
No, you didn't hear that.
Guys, what did he just whisper to you? No, I think.
Comment down below what he just whispered to you.
Don't. I don't want to read it. I don't read the comments. I do sometimes because I want to hear your theories. No, I think the theory that like I've kind of like been stumbling on of it all kind of being connected makes the most sense in my opinion because of the fact that like cryptids being like something like you're explaining manipulation. Manipulation.
Yeah.
Well, they were playing with the buttholes.
Touch it, cow.
But
touch it.
That sounds like cryptid behavior that has been explained as the chupacabra.
Yeah.
You see something like shadow people or something like that. That sounds like fucking Mothman.
Well, you actually made me believe in cryptids more so than I did because the thing that always hung me up on cryptids is like, I'm not even saying they're not real, but like, why aren't there more multiples of them? Why is there only like 6 Bigfoot?
They're basically experiments.
Yeah, and then when you explained it, because there are all these like weird, and like this.
They're all humanoid too.
I almost said Pacific Northwest.
Saved you from that one, buddy. You're welcome.
Good thing I didn't say that. In the Pacific Northwest, aren't there all these like random government bases and shit like that?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, well, it was like something like that. Well, no, there's there's legend of them. I know the Y-Files have talked a bunch about them, and it's like, yeah, I don't know. What the fuck if, like, maybe a Bigfoot is a guy who escaped, and they made him real tall and furry.
Right.
And then and then when they stabilized the footage, you realize it was just an Italian guy.
But all of these creatures, to some extent, are humanoid in shape or characteristics.
Where's your pants? Sorry, there's a girl.
But there's again Mothman, Bigfoot, Chupacabra is more animalistic or something like that. Skinwalkers is another thing, like shape shifting alien like creatures, weird looking creatures and shit like that. But they've also been they've always been explained in some kind of in every culture's lore has weird cryptids or weird creatures and shit like that. I'm saying that it could just be aliens have always been here, and there's always been some kind of reset or something like that.
Well, because if you think about it, I mean, dude, literally with a reset, because we always say maybe aliens just view us as ants, but literally, imagine you were a fucking fish or whatever, and you didn't have the powerful enough brain to comprehend that there's human beings all the time outside. Right. That would appear as weird shit, and literally, they have to change your water. There's a reset.
Yeah.
And it's like, dude, literally, we might just be animals in a cage to an alien who just started Alien Middle School or something like that.
And that's what I'm saying. It's this could be every existence could be some alien's thesis or some shit. You know what I mean? Where they're I did dinosaurs for my thesis. Well, I did humans for mine.
Yeah.
So it's just
there's a racist alien who's there's not enough white ones, and so they move.
They're arguing about gender again. What a fucking, oh my god, this one they're getting bad.
I'm gonna make the Jewish and Arab ones fight.
Yeah, this is more fun.
Yeah,
I think there's more likelihood because of the possible hollow moon, that being that could be a base.
Yeah.
Oh, did I just drop that in?
Oh shit. Oh, did you just throw that out there at the end of the episode?
That hollow moon theory?
Well, I was gonna say you have been throwing out hollow moon a lot as the moon being a base, which if you want to talk about that next, I'm definitely down to.
I'm just saying that that could be basically be either the port You know what I'm saying? Like again, if this is all leading together where there's some kind of agreement where aliens are existing here at the same time, they're working with the government, they're exchanging some just enough.
The Hollow Moon's the alien port authority.
Yeah, that's essentially their bus station. That's their Penn Station.
The Hollow Moon's the Penn Station. That rules, dude.
Like
that's so funny. It's just a bus stop, and there's alien homeless people sleeping out front.
I didn't have enough. Can you give me a squiz gate? Come on, I need a squiz gate.
Oh damn! I didn't even think about the potential of making up alien products.
Oh man, come on.
Yeah. Can I get some?
Help me out, man.
Can I get some alien heroin, please?
He's like, this is actually my dick I'm pointing at. Stop slapping your dick in front of me.
I really want. I need to inject moon heroin into my dick. You guys, I don't know why it's making me. You guys got any moon heroin?
I got any moon heroin from my dick. Yeah, dude.
I didn't have enough money for the bus to Earth. Now I'm just addicted to moon heroin.
But with the cattle mutilation, with these hearings, like them just going like, yeah, but like, what if like there was a government agency specifically dedicated to recovering wrecked UAPs?
Yeah.
Like, so obviously
we're a Jiffy Lube for them.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you know what I'm saying? And they're saying like we cannot confirm that they are made from. So like that's what I'm saying is like they can't them not being able to confirm that they're alien technologies is them not breaking the treaty.
Yeah.
Of we can't acknowledge that they exist here because otherwise then you've ruined the experiment.
Yeah.
Then we can let a privileged few.
Well, it's like with when they talk about where what was the show on Netflix, Chimp Empire, where basically it was like you can be around the chimps, but if you make too much of a presence be known, like they act normal as long as you just kind of sit in the background.
Right, yeah. If they don't know they're being observed, they can act normal.
And it's like you're not. That's what happens is like cattle mutilation is because you think about it like.
So maybe the moon is actually the Truman Show. Like maybe there's like a fucking douchebag alien director with a backwards beret going like.
Well, dude, that's why I got it. That's why I was literally making a Truman Show. I forget what it was specifically on stream this week. I was making a reference to the Truman Show, and I was just like, it's like, dude, that's why you got to do this stuff, and because it's fun. The aliens on the base level are fun, but then when you start really like go like, okay, here's the info. Now, what's your best guess? What's happening? And then it's like you get down some weird rabbit hole where you're now truly considering you might be in some weird Truman Show, and you're like. I'm going to go...
Dude, I thought it was The Matrix this whole time, but it's a fucking Truman Show?
Yeah, you're like, you know what? I'm going to go watch Batman Beyond. That's what I've been watching. That's what I've been watching this week.
Yeah, hell yeah.
I've been getting into more comic book shit.
But I just feel like with all of these things all kind of like coming together, it backs up the Roswell theories that we had.
Yeah.
It backs up the...
Well, you know, my thing is like I'm more inclined to believe a mundane process rather than like we can still have some crazy shit like aliens, but when you're talking about this whole shit where it's like, yeah, cattle mutilation might just be some fucking extraterrestrial beings just acting up and
just
not
goofing around,
and not abiding by like, dude, we said you can't do that. You know what I mean?
We said we would give you some.
Yeah.
You could have some to experiment on as much as you want. Just tell us how many you want and we'll fucking get them for you.
Yeah.
And that's like black budgets like that you can't see that are like the cattle fund for the alien party that's coming. You know what I mean? Like they're like, we're fucking having some visitors this weekend.
All right. Well, I like this route that we're going.
It's very much rooted in reality. This is, if not anything, a good movie.
Yeah. Are we writing a script?
Yeah. Honestly, guys, copyright.
Copyright. No more heroes.
We're copyright. We're gonna email this episode to ourselves and not open it.
Funny, dude.
That's the fucking super ass poor man's copyright.
Isn't that the poor man's copyright? You mail it to yourself?
Yeah. And don't open it.
That's so
if
funny.
you don't open it, then it has the actual government seal.
Perfect.
Thanks, government.
So, yeah.
And honestly, just bring us in on the fucking circle. We're obviously cool with it. We like what
we're not mad about it.
We like the booking. We can help.
Yeah. We want to help write. We want to be in the writer's room.
Yeah. And guys, if there's two guys that belong in a writer's room, look at these bodies.
Look at us. Aren't we perfect for sitting and eating small versions of a larger meal.
I look like a Secret Service at a Kirkland's at a Costco.
No, you look like you're in the VIP section of the Costco's.
What's that?
So you know what? Yeah, let's go down because I don't know. I like the alien tip we're going down because I do want to like eventually because I know we talked about a lot of CIA stuff. I am on it also too personally getting into serial killers a lot lately, but I do like this alien tip we're sort of like feeling out. So let's stay on this a while. I like the hollow. Is the
hollow moon?
Is the hollow is the hollow moon a bus stop?
Yeah.
Is the hollow moon Penn Station?
Yeah. Yes.
Yes. Yes,
I mean,
it is.
maybe.
Short answer. Mm-hmm.
If you look up close up pictures, just as a little preview, do your own research. But if you see, there's a couple things that look like structures that are on the moon, and if you look closely and they start to zoom in a little bit, there are pretty good pictures of them, and they look very similar to
A Subway
yes,
and a Starbucks.
A fucking like that gray tint to every like bus stop or like bus station.
Wait, was I kind of right being funny?
Yeah, yeah. No, I'm serious.
Yeah.
It looks like a fucking bus stop. It looks
Really?
it looks like a weird, shitty kind of like.
Well, that definitely
Like kind of looks like at one point this could have been a nice structure, but it looks kind of like not abandoned, but just not upkept.
yeah, and that's
You know what I'm saying?
most government run bus stops. That's most government run buildings.
And that's what I'm saying. Like so, like I feel like
Not
maybe
the worst, but not well maintained.
yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
It was either going to be hollow moon or crop circles.
I definitely crop circles is a funny one because I was watching stuff on that where I always love when people are like, you know, like we talked about with Phoenix Lights, where they're like, we can easily remake this.
Yeah,
and there was like
and they
shit.
try, and it's like,
Yeah.
oh man,
And there was
you failed
dudes-
so much.
Yeah, there were dudes trying to recreate crop circles a lot of times, and they looked like fucking dog shit.
Yeah. There was like it was really funny because there was like one guy's that they're like, how'd you get in without there not being any signs of you walking through or anything? They're like, we pole vaulted,
I saw that one.
and you're like, what?
You're like, hey.
The fuck are you talking about?
What the fuck are you talking about? No, you didn't. Wait, no one ever. No one.
Literally nobody pole vaults.
No one
Not
pole
even-
vaults.
Like even pole vaulters wouldn't pole vault if there wasn't a fucking pad.
They don't just like do
They
it.
just go, oh.
It's really not that practical.
Is there an impact zone?
It's so funny. We pole vaulted. No, you didn't.
No, you didn't.
No, you didn't.
You absolutely did not do
Yeah,
that.
did you? You two fucking random farmers.
Holy shit. And they were like in their 60s at the time.
I remember watching that. You didn't pole vault, you fucking piece of shit.
Fucking lying piece of shit.
I forgot
I'm
about
so
that.
glad we picked Hollow Moon.
Yeah, let's do Hollow Moon because I think this kind of like keeps it going where it's like,
Is that a bus?
is the Earth, is the hollow, that's the question no one's asking. Is the Hollow Moon a bus stop? Guys, come on, man.
come on.
Like, this shit's so good. Tell your friend about it.
Is it the set? We need a better set, right?
Yeah.
We'll get a better set.
Yeah.
It's going to be so much good.
That's so good. Guys, please tell your
It's going to be
friends.
so
about-
good that I can't even talk anymore.
It's so good.
It's going to be so good. It's so much good.
So good.
So good.
So good. All right. Thanks for watching, guys. Like and subscribe. Tell all your friends. Call your mom. Suck your own penis. Have a good one. Be about a peace.